What is going on, guys? I am back with part 2 for this tutorial on how to build a suburban house. Here in this video, we're going to be finishing the main exterior of the house, and if we have time at the end, we'll also be doing the landscaping. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by bringing up the walls for the second floor of the house, and then we're going to go ahead and top it all off with the roof. So you're going to need some white concrete, gray concrete, white stained glass panes, quartz stairs, quartz slabs, dark oak wood stairs, and then dark oak wood slabs, pillar quartz blocks, and dark oak fences. Okay, let's switch to our pillar quartz blocks, and we're going to start by bringing up all of the corners, and we're basically just marking out where the second floor walls are going to be. So we'll start here at the front at this corner first, and we're just going to be adding 8 pillars on top of the pillars that we already have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So before we bring them all up, let's just mark out all of the ones we're actually going to be bringing up. So we have this one right here. And then this one. And then we head off to the back. We have this one here in the corner. And then these right here. And then we have 2 more. So this one at that corner. And then back up at the front in this corner. So now let's just add another 7 on top of all of those that we just marked out. So it meets up with that right there. Okay, so I went ahead and brought up all of the other pillars for the second floor of the house. Okay, you can then switch to your white concrete, and we're going to add 2 extra layers on top of all of the walls that we already have. And we're going to be doing this in between all of the pillars. So we'll start here at the front. So we have 1 layer, and then 1 more after that. Now, let's head off to the right side. We have this wall here. What we're going to do is just go in between these 2 pillars and bring it from the back, or from the front to the back. 2 layers like this. Okay, and now let's work our way towards the back. Once again, 2 layers here. And then on top of this white concrete on each side. Here as well. And now we're going to be bringing it straight across again in between the pillars. So start here at the back and work your way up to the front. Now we're back at the front. Let's fill in these 2 spaces here and then this little corner area. And then we just have this L shape that we have to bring up to the same height as well. Okay, so it should be looking like that. Okay, let's head on over here to the left side. I'm currently at the front. We're going to head on over here. And with our white concrete, we're going to completely fill in this entire wall. So in between these pillars, let's just bring it up to the same height. Because this entire wall is going to be covered up by the roof that we're going to be bringing up for this lower section here. So we're not going to be able to have any windows. So it's just going to be a solid wall of white concrete. So now, as that is all filled in, let's head on to the right side over here. And we're going to start at the back, and we're just going to match up the windows that we have at the first floor. We're going to do the same here for the second floor. So let's go up against this pillar and add a layer of white concrete like that. Switch to your gray concrete. We're going to place 1, skip 2, place 1. Then we're going to skip this one, then place 1, skip 2, and place 1. So we just matched it up to the bottom. Let's add an extra 4 layers on top of this gray concrete. And then white stained glass panes. And then the rest of this entire wall is going to be filled in with white concrete. So you can switch to that. So go in between, like on top and in between the windows. And then this entire section as well. Because once again, we're going to be bringing up a roof right here. And that is all going to be covered up. so we brought up that wall and then this wall. So now what we could go ahead and do, you know what, I guess before I was going to say let's go ahead and do the roof for the lower sections, but might as well just continue the walls here for the second floor, and then we'll just do the roof for the entire build. So let's get on to doing all of these walls here in the middle now. Okay, I just realized here at the front where this part juts out, we just have to cut down 2 layers off of this because it's not going to be brought up as high. This is just a little piece that juts out, and we're going to have a little roof right here, and then we have a big window on this main wall. So let's go ahead and do that window. Make sure to continue with your white concrete and go on this back wall here in between the pillars and add, or basically like fill in the 2 spaces here. Now, you could bring up a layer of white concrete on each side up against those pillars. And then you can switch to your gray concrete and place 4 on each side. So now it makes a 3-block wide window. You can fill all of this in with white stained glass panes. And then the extra 2 layers with white concrete. So there we go, we just have a big 3-block wide window right there. And now let's continue on to this L-shape area here. Okay, so continue with your white concrete and we're going to completely fill in this wall here. So bring it up to the same height as the pillar again. And now we just have to shift over the pillar here on the other section. So right here where we have this window that's 4 blocks wide, this pillar here is actually supposed to be brought in 2 blocks. So we can switch to that pillar, line it up with the gray concrete down here where the edge of that window is. So you're basically skipping this white concrete block and placing it on here. And now you could bring up the pillar and you could cut this down. Okay, now that is marked out and is actually in the correct spot. So you can then switch to your white concrete. We're going to place a layer going up against the pillar. We're going to also place a layer going up against this wall. And now we're going to have a 2-block wide window here. So you can switch to your gray concrete, place 4 on each side, and then white stained glass panes. And then white concrete on top of this window. Okay, so now we have that all marked out and looking at the way that it should be. Okay, now let's go behind this pillar right here. And we're going to add an extra 3 blocks of white concrete going towards the back. And then what we're going to do is actually turn it in that direction. But we don't want to actually fill this in. So let's just fill in these 3 layers here. Bring it up to the same height as the pillar. Like that. The reason why we don't want to add a layer here is because we actually have to start our window there. So let's first add a layer up against this pillar and up against this wall. And now you can switch to your gray concrete and place 4 on each side. And now it should be a 3-block wide window, which you can then fill in with white stained glass panes. And then an extra 2 layers of white concrete on the top. Like that. And then you can see here, we'll just add an extra 2 blocks of white concrete right underneath that window. And there we go. Now that one is marked out. So we have the entire front side of the house all done. Now, oh, well, keep in mind we still have the front porch here and like the door and stuff. But other than that, for the most part, it's all marked out. So now let's head on to the back. And we're going to have basically a window matching with the bottom. So we're going to have that at the top on each side. And then we're going to have a big window right here in the middle. So let's get on to doing that next. So now let's go ahead and start marking out the windows here at the back now. We'll head on over here to the right next to this pillar, and we'll bring up a layer of white concrete. And then we'll go to the left, right behind is this pillar and next to it, and we'll fill in 2 spaces. So it's just like what we did at the first floor. So now we're going to have a window that's going to match with that one. So it looks like that. Let's then head on over to the left, and we're going to have the same thing once again. There we go, looking all good. Now let's fill in the 2 spaces of white concrete on each side of this pillar. So right here, and then here. And now we're going to have a bigger window here in the middle. So let's first just line up with the white concrete layer here, right underneath these windows. And we'll just bring it from one side to the other, kind of just fill that in. Okay, I thought I just made a seriously bad mistake, but I forgot we actually added the pillars here. We didn't do that at the original build, so what we gotta do is just cut down a layer of white concrete on each side of this. I thought I completely messed up the build. I thought I was gonna have to restart, but we're all good. Now, we should just have 1 block of white concrete next to that pillar. Yeah, at the original build, there was 2 spaces of white concrete, but that's because I didn't actually have a pillar here. So now there should only be 1. Okay, so that was a very simple fix. So now, let's switch to the gray concrete. We'll add 4 layers on each side. And you should then leave off with a window that is 4 blocks wide. So let's fill this in with white stained glass panes. And then your white concrete. And now we brought up all of the walls for the house. So we're then going to mark out our door here at the back. And then do the same for the front. We'll start topping off the house with the roof, starting with the lower sections on each side. Okay, now here for the back door, let's go ahead and go right underneath this white concrete here, and we're going to fill in an extra 3 layers. So now it is 4 right behind, or right underneath that top window. Then let's go on each side where this white concrete is and just cut down 1 layer. Just like we did at the top. Whoops. So now we're going to have a back door, which is going to be leading out to the deck here. So you can switch to your white stained glass panes and start at the top and place 5 going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should be left with 1 block of space down here. This is where the floors for the house are going to start. Let's go on this side. We'll bring it down by 5 again. And now let's bring it in 1 on each side. And then we'll curve out the bottom one. Skip over the second one. And then curve out the 3 at the top. Okay, you can then fill in that empty space with a dark oak fence. And now we have the back door all marked out. Let's head on to the front. You can switch to your white concrete. And this door is actually going to be 1 block lower, but I believe I actually had some quartz stairs right above it. So let's add 3 layers of white concrete here at the top. And then we'll switch to quartz stairs, place 2 upside down, and then switch to your white stained glass panes. You can either have it on the right side or the left side, it's up to you. I guess we'll have it on the right. We'll bring it down 4, we'll curve out the bottom one, the 2 at the top, and the middle one, or the empty one with a dark oak fence. And once again, leave 1 space here for the floors for the house. And now we have the front door marked out. So now, let's go ahead and bring up our roof for the left lower section and the section above the garage. We'll start over here first. So now let's start doing the roof for this section first. And I was just looking, and I think it'll be best to do the front porch, the back deck, and the landscaping all in part 3. So here in part 2, we'll do the roof for the rest of the house, and then we'll leave it at that for part 2. So let's do this side first. Make sure to have your quartz stairs. And just place a layer upside down at the top layer of this wall here, and just wrap it around to the back. Now let's head on back up to the front, and we're going to start forming a triangle shape, and it's going to meet up against this wall. So we'll start here at the corner. We'll place a block of, or the quartz stair like that, and then just upside down, and then up, upside down, and up, just back and forth like this. And then just 1 more until you are up against this wall. And now what I would normally do is curve this stair here, like that. But I think in this case, we'll go ahead and just leave it as it is. So just going straight up. Let's go to the back side, and we're going to do the same thing. So now, once you bring up the quartz stairs on each side, it should be looking like this. So you can then switch to your white concrete and go from the inside right behind all these quartz stairs, starting here, basically on top of this pillar, and we'll just bring it in to that wall there. Now, let's start right behind this upside down stair and fill it in. Remember, like always, don't place it on the outside to where you can see the white concrete right there. You don't want that. You want all this to be empty. You just want to fill in all the middle space here. This like hole basically where the roof is. So like that. So from the outside, it is all filled in. Let's go to the back. We're going to do the same thing. And then all we have left to do for this roof is just fill it in with the dark oak wood stairs. So, speaking of those, let's switch to them, and we'll fill in all the space in between these stairs now. And now, the roof for this left lower side is all done. And I think it looks really nice. I think it's cool to have it kind of just going on an angle like that. It's a really nice feature. Let's then head on over to the garage area. So for this side, let's first just mark out the main roof itself, and then we're going to also have some windows in the roof. So first, let's just mark out the roof and get that out of the way, and then we'll worry about the windows. So you can switch to your quartz stairs and place them upside down right here on the top layer of the white concrete, and we'll just wrap it around the same thing that we did on the other side. We just want a triangle shape. We want to start forming a triangle shape here on this side. And then all of the dark oak wood stairs are just going to be brought straight across. Okay, so it's not going to be on an angle like that. You could actually see it right there. Just a triangle shape on one side, and it's all going to be filled in. So let's go ahead and start doing the shape. We'll start here at this corner. And we'll just place some upside down stairs, or just like a regular stair, and then upside down, back and forth, until you feel like you're about in the middle. So I believe the middle is going to be in between two windows. Or no, we have one window here. So it's going to be on the left side of this window, lined up with that glass there. So like that. Let's then bring up the back side, and we should be able to match them up. They should be just on the same layer. Like that. You can then go from the inside, and remember, just line up with all of these stairs that are upside down, and fill this all in with white concrete. So now from the outside, it is all filled in. Let's then switch to our dark oak wood stairs, and we're going to fill in all of this space. So we're going to start lined up with these quartz stairs, and bring it in until it's up against the wall. So just like this. So go ahead and do that for the front, and then work your way down the back. So we have the main part of the roof all done. Let's head on back up to the front, and we're going to start doing our windows in the roof. Actually, let's go ahead and do the roof for this middle section here for the second floor, and then we'll leave off with doing the windows in the roof, and then that'll be it for part 2. So let's start shaping out all of this up here next. Okay, the first thing we should do is just switch to our quartz stairs. We'll start here at the front, and we just want to place them upside down on the top layer of this wall, and just wrap it all the way around the entire rest of the build. So all of these walls. Okay, there we go. Now let's start marking out some of the triangle shapes. So we're going to have one here, one over there to the left, and then one at the back. And then we also have to shape out one here in the middle, but we won't worry about that until we do all of these other ones first. So starting here at the front, we'll just go to this corner, and just remember, a regular stair and an upside down one back and forth. And you should be lined up with the left side of the window again. So just right here on this glass. Let's go to this side. We'll do the same thing. You should leave off with them at the same height like that with one space left in the middle. So you can have an upside down stair and then a slab. And there we go, we have that marked out. Let's then head on over here to the left, and we're going to have a big triangle shape here. So starting at the corner, just back and forth, until you feel like you're about in the middle. It doesn't have to be exactly where it's supposed to be. You could just make adjustments later if it's not at the height that it should be. So I'll bring it up to about right there. Let's then head on to the back corner, and we'll start bringing this side up. Okay, so there we go. Now we just have to bring it up one on each side, and it should meet up like that. Now let's do the final shape back here, and then we have one more at the front, but like I said, let's just mark all of these out first. So this is the last it's like a full triangle shape. This is our last full triangle shape. The other one at the front is kind of like half of one basically. So let's bring this up. And the middle point should be, actually it's going to be, we're going to stop it right at the right side of that window. So I think one more. Yeah, right there. And now let's go to this corner, bring it up as well, and they should meet up and be on the same layer. Now, we'll go ahead and switch to our white concrete and fill in all of the space behind those shapes. And once again, just fill in the block right behind the upside down court stair and then just work your way up. So now we filled in all of that space behind the shapes with white concrete. And now we'll start doing this shape right here. So we're going to start at this corner, work it up until it's about lined up with this window. And then we're going to bring it down just a few blocks from the other side. So let's get on to doing that shape next. And then we just have to fill in all of this space with our dark oak wood stairs, do the windows and the roof. And then I'm going to have a cool little design here. Let's actually just do this now. So you could delete 4 blocks of white concrete, switch to your quartz stairs, and just place 4 like this so it forms a cool little shape like that, just like a square. And I believe that is the only spot I'm going to be having that shape. So we have that out of the way. So now we just have to worry about doing our roof here for the middle, and then doing our windows in the roof. And then keep in mind in part 3 we have the front porch. The back deck will also be doing the landscaping in part 3. And yeah, let's get on to doing this shape here in the middle next. Okay, for this shape here in the middle, let's go ahead and count how many stairs we're actually going to be bringing up so we mark it out where it's supposed to be. So we'll go on this corner, and we have 1 facing up like that. And then we have 2. And now we have 3. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 more, which makes it 8. Now we want an upside down sideways stair like that, or kind of just like facing in that direction, and then a quartz slab on top of it. Switch back to your quartz stair, and we're going to bring it down 3 on this side. So we have 1, and then 2, and 3, like that. Okay, and it should be lined up, like kind of makes it look like it's right on top of this quartz stair here. Okay, so once again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is then the middle section, and then 3 going down this side. So now we have all of the shapes marked out. We still have to fill this in with white concrete, and we're going to have a little window back here. You know what? Let's actually just do it. Let's go behind this shape, switch to the white concrete, and just follow along all of the upside down quartz stairs like this, as well as this one, and then work your way down like that. Okay, now let's fill in all of this white concrete. So line it up there and fill it in. So now we have it all marked out. You can then use your white concrete and finish up the middle section here. Okay, so now from the outside it looks like that. Keep in mind all that's going to be covered up with the roof that we're going to be bringing over. So it's going to be brought over up against that wall. But first let's have a small little window here so we could delete 3 blocks of white concrete. Switch to a quartz stair, place one upside down and one just like regular. And then have a white stained glass pane there. So now let's get on to filling in all of this space with our dark oak wood stairs, same way that we did at the other 2 layers already. Okay, let's start by filling in this area here. So you can switch to your dark oak wood stairs, make sure you're lined up right behind the quartz stairs, and bring it in until it's up against that wall. And we just want to keep working our way up until we have this entire side filled in. And I believe we might have to add a couple extra white concrete blocks. So yeah, we're going to have to add one like right there. So let's bring this up one more. Let's go behind that quartz stair, or that dark oak wood stair, and just fill this in with white concrete, one extra block like that. So now we don't have a random hole there. Okay, and then we are going to have a dark oak wood slab, but first, let's go ahead and fill in this side before we do that slab, because it's going to be kind of connected to the roof here. It's going to look like it's going straight down. So you can switch to your dark oak wood stairs. We'll go on this layer and just wrap it around towards the back. Okay, like that. Let's go up another layer and wrap it around again, right behind all of these dark oak wood stairs that we just placed. So you're basically just following right along in between all of the quartz stairs. Let's go up again, do all of this. Up another layer again. So it looks like we have 2 more to fill in. Actually, no, we have 1 right here, but then we still have 2 at the back. So that means we're going to be connecting it to the other part of the roof. Like that. So as you can see, we have 1 here. So what we want to do is first switch to our dark oak wood slab. We'll head back up here to the front, and we'll bring this from the front all the way to the back. Like that. You can then switch back to your dark oak wood stair, go on this layer here at the back, and just wrap it around, follow along your stairs before, and then right along is this slab here. And it should meet up with the quartz stair there. Now, we have that all filled in for that side. And then what we want to do is start filling this in, and we're going to wrap it around, and it's going to meet up with those stairs over there. So let's get on to doing that next. Let's fill in this corner first. Let's head down here at the bottom and fill this in with a layer of stairs and just work your way up. Okay, looks like we have 1 more layer on this side, and it should connect with that side, and it looks like it all worked out pretty good. So now let's go up, continue working your way up. We have 2 more layers, and it's going to be connected back up to the front. So we're just going to wrap this around right here. Oh, one thing before I forget. Let's switch back to our white concrete and fill in 4 blocks behind these quartz stairs, because now it looks like it's just a solid wall. Okay, let's head back to our stairs. And we have 1 more layer of stairs, and then we have a layer of slabs. Okay, so with those slabs, after we fill this in, boom, done. Switch to your dark oak wood slabs, We're just going to fill in one layer here from the front and stop it here. Same as that we did at the bottom, except the bottom goes back a little bit further. Alright, and now we just have to fill it in this corner area here. So switch to your dark oak wood stairs. Do the same thing that we did everywhere else and just fill in all of the space in between the quartz stairs. Just follow along until you have this entire area completely filled in. And then we will do the windows and the roof above the garage, and then we'll leave it at that for part 2. So we are almost done with part 2. Alright, looking good. So now let's look back and see what we did. So this is what the front is looking like. It's getting there. And then I guess I'll do a little top view. You get an idea of what it should be looking like. Alright, here's all the back. Looking all good. It is all filled in and the way that it should be. Okay, now let's do our windows right here above the garage, and we'll leave it at that for part 2. Okay, let's start marking out where the windows are going to be. You could switch. Oh, I guess I didn't grab full blocks of quartz. Let's do that. So let's grab the full blocks of quartz. We'll just switch out the dark oak fence. So, start over here. You just want to make sure you leave one layer of stairs here at the bottom at all times. And then go to the right. On the second layer, leave one block of wood here. Carve out 3. Skip over 3. And then carve out 3. So remember, one layer here at the bottom. We have 2 spaces to the left. 3 in the middle. And then 1 stair here. And then we have the quartz stair. Okay, let's go behind these stairs, or basically on top of this white concrete, add 3 blocks of quartz. Then switch to your pillar quartz blocks and place 3 on each corner. Okay, and then let's go up. We're going to delete 1, 2, 3, I believe, because these windows are a little bit smaller. Let's carve out 2 on each side behind those pillars. So remember, right down the middle, carve out 3, and then 2 on each side of that. Okay, you can then switch to some quartz stairs and place them upside down in between the pillars at the top, and then fill in 2 spaces of white stained glass panes. Now, this is a little bit different. Normally I would have triangle shapes here for the windows, but in this case, let's switch to some quartz slabs, and we'll place 5 here at the front, having it overhang by 1 on each side. Okay, and then let's bring it up. And then it should meet up with the stair right there. We're just going to leave it exactly as it is. So I'll do it one more time. So we're lined up with this pillar. We place 2 here. Then we go here. We place 2. 2 here again. And then 1. Alright, let's do it again just to make sure. So we have 2, 2, 2, and 1. So we're basically forming a full block, and then we're going off of each top part of that block. Okay, now let's fill it in. Let's see, should we delete these stairs here? Let's delete those stairs. I think that'll be better. Oh, and then we have to... Oh wait, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there we go. So that's, yeah, it's a little bit different than what I would normally do. So that is all good. Let's then switch to our blocks of quartz. We're going to go from the inside, and make sure you're lined up at the middle here. And place a block on each side. And then we'll place 2 above that. And then we have to place 1 here, and then 1 here. So 2 again. Okay, so all we really just did there was filled in all of that empty space that was showing here. We just filled it all in with blocks of quartz. Okay, and now the last thing that we have left to do is just fill this in with dark oak wood slabs in between all of the quartz slabs. So a little bit different than what I would normally do, but I thought it was a cool feature for this type of house. Change it up a little bit. And now, I guess one last thing that I want to do is actually add a light right here in the garage, like above the garage door, so it shines down on it. I think it'll be cool. Oh, we never did the little roof here. Let's do that. So, you know what? We'll do it right now. Switch to your quartz stairs and go on the top layer of this white concrete and just place them upside down. Alright, and then I believe, did I have slabs? No, I didn't. So now what we want to do is just switch to our dark oak wood stairs and add them right on top of those quartz stairs, and then switch to your dark oak wood slab and add it right there to finish filling that in. So now, one thing that I also forgot to mention, we're going to have like little flower beds here, but we'll go ahead and do that in part 3 when we do all the landscaping. I think that'll be the best time to do it. But before we end off this part, let's just clear all of this, and let's grab a sea lantern and an iron trap door. We're going to go inside of here, just delete that block, fill it in with a sea lantern, and cover it up with an iron trap door just like that. So now, we got a little bit of extra light shining down here. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for part 2 for this tutorial on how to build a suburban house. If it helped you, be sure to please leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in part 3. We'll then be finishing the main exterior of the house and doing the landscaping.